Counting Midnight. It's an absolute honor to be talking to George A. Romero, director of Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. What's all the of the Dead stuff about?
Man, it's about dead people. What can I tell you?
Hey, we did go ahead.
No, I'm doing a new one, which is not of the dead, but it's called Dead Reckoning.
And what would that be about?
It's another zombie film.
Another zombie. And
Fourth one.
fourth one. And what is your personal fascination with the zombie?
To me, they were always the blue-collar monsters. You know, they're the underdogs. So, but I guess I'm using them. Started using them a little differently. You know, because when I was growing up, they were all, from Haiti, and they were really the underdogs. You know, working the cotton fields while Lugosi was up in the castle someplace.
And what did you do to change that?
I just made them the neighbors. You know, to me, the neighbors are the most frightening thing about life. So I made them us, and
And in the case of Night of the Living Dead, they actually were your neighbors, correct?
Yeah, they were friends and neighbors, people that we worked with.
What inspired you at that time to do a film?
I always loved movies, and we started a little commercial production company to do commercials, industrial films, stuff like that. Got the equipment, and then decided to make a movie. I'd written a short story, and wound up basing Night of the Living Dead on that.
And what was the short story?
It was a zombie story. I ripped it off, basically, from a Richard Matheson novel called I Am Legend.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. And stole the idea. So.
Which, of course, that one's been made a couple times.
Couple times, yeah. Not too well. Last Man on Earth was okay, I thought, pretty good. Omega Man, a little shaky.
And we took a poll earlier, and we'll ask you your opinion. Slow zombies or fast zombies?
Oh, gotta be slow.
Gotta be slow.
Yeah.
And why is that?
They're dead. They're all messed up, like the guy says.
And what do you think about your film in particular, and the films you've made that makes them achieve the cult classic status?
I don't know. I got lucky, you know. I guess right place at the right time. There were independent companies that would put up money to make movies, and they left you alone, you know. And there were theater screens. You could get screens back then in those days.
Do you think that opportunity exists today?
I think it's a lot harder today. It's a lot easier to make stuff today on video, some format. But it's very hard to get screens. You know, there used to be when I made my first several films. You know, the big films would play downtown at the first run houses for months. So there was all the neighborhood screens were available, and I think that's really what spawned these independent distribution companies, finance groups, and it was just a lot easier. It's really hard to get screens today.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they've been, sucked off by big conglomerates that own theater chains, and all the big distribution companies, the independent distribution companies, have been swallowed by, Universal or the Mouse or somebody like that. And, everybody's shooting for the moon. And movies open on 3,000 screens these days. You know, it's not there's no such thing as first run and then send it to the neighborhoods. It's all instant gratification. So.
And what do you think will change? Do you think there'll be any type of change for the independents to come out in the forefront again?
Well, I hope there'd be access to some kind of screens, whether it's video or on the internet or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's hard today. Hard to get distribution.
Even for your stuff? Probably not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, I don't have any kind of status that way, So it's really hard. If you don't have stars, if you don't have something obvious, it's really tough. I'm working on a project right now with Stephen King, and we can't, without names in it, you can't get anywhere. It's like, it doesn't matter whether it's Steve or me or so it's tough.
Great. And website.
Which?
Which website? Do you have a website?
I guess there's a website. My son has just started a website about me. But there's also a website for a project that I'm working on now called Diamond Dead, which is really a fun thing that I love it. It's a musical, not really a musical, but it's got music in it. It's the guy from Richard Hartley, who did the music for Rocky Horror, and that looks pretty good. We're trying to cast it now. It's always the big thing, getting a cast.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott and Tony Scott are producing this, so hopefully they have the clout to get some people in it.
Sure.
It's rock and roll zombies, man.
Rock and roll zombies.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Okay. We're getting a cut sign here, George. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
I think mine is my name. I think
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at it yet. It's
Yeah.
just the last couple of weeks that he put it up.
You don't get online much then.
Not much, no.
No.
I started a website of my own, and I was, faithfully sitting there trying to answer questions and everything. And pretty soon it was nothing but trolls, and they're sniping at each other. And didn't. So I got fed up with it.
Okay, well, George, appreciate it very much.
Nice seeing you.
Nice
Again.
meeting you. Yeah, and
Nice duds.
oh, thank you.